Willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von Tales of Zestiria. In der letzten Folge ist Dessel gestorben. Und wir hören uns nun die Gedanken aller an, die mit ihm reisten.
Dessel's death, his shameful acts, and the things Simone said. Perhaps they're all things the shepherd has to accept in order to quell the Lord of Calamity.
I'm just not sure how to feel about it all.
I was thinking you should quit.
What?
Just hear me out. I used to think that when the shepherd was getting crushed and overwhelmed by his duty or by his destiny, that it was something that you could just up and quit. Until yesterday, that is. Things are different now.
For Dessel's sake, if nothing else, I want to find the answers.
That's right. It isn't even some feeling of obligation so much as... I just want to know, in the hope that we won't make the same mistakes again. So that's why I no longer think you should quit.
We definitely have to find some answers.
Right. And it isn't just the shepherd's duty either. This journey is something we, all of us, need to own.
That's true. Thank you.
There's no need for thanks. I just said how I truly feel.
Ja, und da ist so viel Wahres dran. Gehen wir weiter. Unsere Suche nach Antworten ist noch nicht vorüber. Hä? Wir sind da oben. Nee, da ist niemand. Dann lasse ich das erstmal sein. Da drin wahrscheinlich. Wieso muss es nur so kompliziert alles sein?
Our friend, the creepy little girl. She said she was burdened with sins.
Right. And she also said that the shepherd must know the truth of Seraphim, who carry such sorrowful burdens.
Of those whose mere existence means human suffering. Sometimes death can be a release. If just by living one causes terrible things to happen, then death would be.
Edna, stop right there!
I'm not talking about Dessel, you idiot.
You shouldn't be saying that about your brother either!
So what if I did? They're just words. It's probably nothing you haven't heard before anyway.
I still don't like it. I don't want to hear it right now.
Oh. Then there's nothing to discuss.
Yeah.
Saray. All I was really trying to say is that I think Dessel was saved in a way. I chose my words poorly, and it was wrong of me. I apologize.
Thank you, Edna.
Don't mention it.
Eine einzige Nacht reicht bei weitem nicht aus, um meine Gefühle zu sortieren. Oh. Es ist alles andere als leicht. Hä?
Lila, what are you doing?
Oh, this?
That's incredible! How'd you do that?
Making paper crafts like this really takes the edge off for me. I forget about all my cares, and it's like I just enter my own little world.
I see.
Saray, you've got to stop carrying the burden all by yourself.
I think this one's gonna be tough, even if I share the burden. I find myself wondering, was there anything else I could have done? Should we have talked it over first? I just start thinking about things.
Moments of reflection are good for the spirit, Saray, but regrets solve nothing.
What's this?
Humans have a custom. Sometimes they send a paper boat down a river imbued with a remembrance of their lost one, so that it may reach them. Since Dezel was a wind seraph, I thought maybe a bird that soars through the air would be more fitting. Now, Saray, let's send it off.
I'm sure it reached him. Lila.
Yes?
Thank you. But you mustn't try to carry the burden all by yourself either.
I'll be quite fine. There's no need to worry. I'm going to stay up here for a while. The wind feels comforting.
All right then. I'll leave you to it.
Okay. I too have a ways to go.
Und jetzt kommen wir zuletzt zu Rose. Wie es ihr wohl gehen wird. Es ist eine ruhige Nacht. Und doch habe ich so ein Flattern in der Brust. Kommt der alte Gevatter mich endlich holen? Junge, so unnötig. So unnötig. Was ist das da hinten? Wer will hier reden? Okay. Das ist also beides das Gleiche. Dann ruhen wir uns jetzt erstmal aus. Und hoffen, dass morgen ein besserer Tag sein wird.
Morning, Saray. Did you sleep well?
Yeah.
You don't look like it.
Yo, Saray!
Oh, Zavid, you're still here.
Ouch! Lila, is he always this cold?
Well, it looks like everyone's here. Care to explain why you wish to enter the Sublord Pact?
No problemo. My goal is directly connected to the Shepherd's journey.
Your goal? Oh yeah, you said there were people you had to settle the score with.
Right. One of them being Little Miss Edna's older brother. And the other? Mautellus.
Mautellus of the Five Lords?
The entire Glenwood continent is supposed to be under his protection, right? Except our baby boy toddled off somewhere, and right at that exact time, the Lord of Calamity shows up. Isn't that funny?
It can't be.
I didn't think it could be either. At first.
But if Mautellus really did become a Hellion and bind with Heldolf...
We'll need to confirm that's what happened.
And the only way to do that is to approach him directly.
Maybe, but we need to be able to stand against Heldolf's domain, or we're sunk.
And that's where I come in. If you'll let me fill the Dezel-shaped hole in your group, together we should be strong enough. How about it? It's in all our best interests, right?
What do you believe we should do?
Saray,
Oh, what were we talking about again?
Hey, can I have the floor?
Huh?
Hey! I thought you had good to do in the world! Keep moping and crying, and I'll chain you up so tight you can't even breathe! That's what he said. Oh, and he asked me to kick your ass a little too while I was at it. And then I told him I'd do my best out there. And so that's why I'm damn well gonna do my best out there. Why am I crying like this?
Rose.
He was really glad he got to travel with all of you. And I didn't even notice. But in the end, he was smiling. If only I talked with him more. Oh, forget it. I'm done.
Thank you for delivering his message to us. He was a kind watchdog up until the very end.
I'll say.
Guess you'll be okay from now on, huh, Rose?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
All right, let's go!
Hold your horses! Don't I get a pack thingy?
Oh.
Alrighty. So, now what do we do?
Just as planned. We're heading to Glavend Basin.
Since it's the place where we first met Heldolf.
Glavend Basin, huh? Here we go!
Aber davor werden wir noch ein paar Mal schlafen. Damit sie auch wirklich ausgeruht sind. Die spirituelle Kraft des Windes.
You said you'd fill in for Dezel, right?
A man never goes back on his word. Well, unless it's with the ladies.
But can you really do it?
Oh ho ho! You doubt me, huh? Come on, you've seen what I can do.
Yeah, but only because you practically forced it on us.
I said I was sorry. Jeez.
We get how strong you are, but what about the spiritual power of wind? You don't have to go back and get it?
Not to worry. The shepherd takes those spiritual powers into his being. So there's nothing to worry about. Especially not with an able and handsome wind seraph like me.
All right then.
I won't let you down.
I'll see to it you don't.
I'm a little surprised. You're quite knowledgeable about spiritual powers and shepherds.
Well, I am a well-experienced grown-ass man after all. You know you can always count on me.
Somehow I'm not so sure that I can.
Ganz ohne Spaß, ohne Dezel jetzt irgendwie in den Dreck zu ziehen, aber vom Charakter her Savid, oder ja, ich will mal Savid sagen, aber Savid, das glaube ich ausgesprochen, vom Charakterzug her hätte es von Anfang an besser gepasst, muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen. Da hätten die Gespräche von Anfang an so ein bisschen mehr Pep gehabt, will ich mal sagen. Aber die Gespräche, in denen Desse dabei waren, waren natürlich auch sehr nice. Aber ihr werdet das früher oder später, denke ich, noch merken, wie Savids Gespräche immer ein gewisses Etwas haben, will ich mal sagen.
I know this is real sudden, but there's something I want to ask y'all so I can fit in a little better. Tell me your weaknesses.
Why would we tell you something like that?
Hey now, that's cold, Mick boy. I'll tell you mine to make it fair. On days when the temperature is low, I get cold.
Yeah, because you don't wear any clothes.
Oh, I see how it is. You want something juicier? Let me tell you something. If a girl starts crying, there's nothing I won't do for her.
Didn't need to know that, thanks.
You guys are tough customers. All right, try this one on for size. I'm strong against earth, but weak against fire.
We knew that.
That's no good either. Well, then here's a juicy tidbit that'll rock your world. As far as I can tell, from the waist up, Lila is...
This isn't even about weaknesses anymore.
Looks like you're fitting in just fine, I'd say.
Wisst ihr, was ich meine? Also, ein Versprechen unter Männern.
Hey Zavid, I want to ask you about something you mentioned.
Oh, Is this your response to my love confession?
Don't try and weasel your way out of this. You said there was something you had to settle with my brother.
That's all there is to it, really. There's just something between us we need to settle.
And that something is?
I told him, "Please, let me marry your little sister," and he punched me.
Don't lie.
Oh, come on, he'd totally do something like that.
Fine, don't tell me then.
No wonder he's worried about her all the time.
So what's this really about? Did Edna's brother ask a favor from you or something like that?
Who wants to know?
Does it have something to do with the oath?
Nah, it's not that big of a deal. But even so, a promise between men is just as sacred. It all might be too much for mere humans to bear.
I shouldn't have taken them along. Oh, it's so useless to say that now.
They could have stayed home in their rooms if they didn't want to deal with it. They went out of their own accord.
Yeah, and I don't think either of them expect or want anyone to take responsibility for their being dragged into this.
Both of them seem so used to living with the Seraphim. Wonder if they were always like this.
Saray and I were raised together ever since we were just babies.
There was a time when you were a baby?
That's rude.
My bad, my bad. I'm sure you were a sweet, well-behaved little guy back in your day.
Too bad I'm not like that anymore, huh? You know, there's something I've been wondering.
Yeah, what?
You're an Earth Seraph, right? So why do you use an umbrella for a weapon? Isn't that more like a water element?
I guess I can tell you. Ready to have your mind blown? I'm using it precisely because I'm an Earth Seraph.
Huh?
You know about the dominant relationships among the elements. Earth, water, fire, and wind, right? Earth is stronger than water. Meaning that especially when using seraphic arts, you can increase your mana output by using the subordinate element as a catalyst.
What?
Just to let you know, Lila has been using wind-imbued paper, and Dezel's pendulum has been using earth and minerals as their catalysts. The staff that you've been using is fundamentally an earth element. You'd have to be a complete idiot for using something like that as a water seraph, is what I'd like to say, but I'll hold back.
But you did just say it!
Well, if you've been using it as a way to train yourself, or a way to incorporate physical attacks on top of seraphic arts, then you're not doing it completely wrong, at least. The longer you live, the easier it is for you to choose to do what takes the least amount of effort. But if you really aren't satisfied and want to grow stronger, then you're just going to have to do things the hard way if you want to go beyond whatever ability you were born with.
Huh.
Anyways, you've been using your staff without knowing what it's for. Good job, dummy.
Ugh.
Aber was müsste er denn sonst nehmen? Feuer benutzt Wind. Erde benutzt Wasser. Ah, ich Duvi. Und Wasser benutzt Feuer. Da war doch was. Ja. Wasser benutzt Feuer, weil Feuer ist Wasser untergeordnet. Feuer benutzt Wind. Aber was benutzt dann Wind? Ach ja, Wind benutzt Erde. Erde benutzt Wasser. Ja. Jetzt hab ich's. Aber was soll man denn jetzt?
Why do you kill the Hellions?
Well, hell's bells. Not one to mince words now, are you?
It's not the sort of thing you need to beat around the bush about.
Fair enough. Plain and simple, it's just my style.
You mean killing?
If I gotta.
There are some out there who can't be purified.
Yeah. There are Hellions who can't go back to their original form.
But even so, Saray promised he'd find a way to bring them back. With Edna.
How shepherdly of him. Well, if he can't find a way, then he needs to take responsibility. As long as he does that, it's fine.
Taking responsibility.
To kill, you mean?
No, not exactly. Meaning he needs to find his own answer. That was pretty wise of me, right?
Ich komme mal nie so wirklich hinterher, mit dem nachlesen, weil er manchmal nur so ein paar Wörter benutzt und ein ganzer Satz steht. Ich habe gerade überlegt, aha, soll ich jetzt einen Folgencut machen? Oder? Ja, komm, wir machen Folgencut. 20 Minuten sind ja noch okay. Dann sehen wir uns in der nächsten Folge. Vielleicht noch mit ein paar Gesprächen. Dann muss ich mal gucken, wo wir jetzt nächstes hingehen. Bis dann, haut rein. Ciao.